I never thought I would regret coming home early from a trip, but that evening, as I turned onto my street, an icy dread gripped me that I couldn't explain. The sun was setting, the shadows stretching long and thin across the familiar pavement, but something was wrong, too wrong. The mail was scattered across the driveway, and the front door, my front door, was slightly ajar. My fingers shook as I pushed it open, a sense of foreboding crawling up my spine. The house was silent, eerily silent, but that wasn't the worst part. Everything was in its place, too perfect, too still, as if the walls themselves were holding their breath, waiting for me to discover the truth. I called her name softly, a tremor in my voice betraying the unease curling in my chest. "Honey!" Nothing. Just silence. My steps echoed through the hall, each creak of the floorboards louder than the last, every shadow seeming to move just out of the corner of my eye. Then, I noticed it, a faint vibration coming from the bedroom. My pulse raced as I reached for my phone, calling her, expecting a cheerful voice, maybe a laugh, but what came through made my stomach drop. "I didn't expect you," she said, her voice soft, trembling, but carrying a strange edge, a sharpness I had never heard before. It wasn't the warmth of familiarity. It was the cold sting of distance, of secrets. "What's going on?" I demanded, my voice rising despite the fear tightening my chest. "Who's there with you?" There was a pause, then a soft laugh, low and unsettling. You shouldn't have come back yet," she whispered almost mournfully. I thought I could handle this on my own. I never wanted you to find out like this." My heart stopped. My hands were shaking as I gripped the doorframe, my mind racing. She was alone in the house, or so I thought, but every instinct screamed that something else was hidden here, in this very room. "Tell me what you mean," I said, my voice barely a whisper now, panic threading every word. "I can't not like this," she said. I didn't think you'd ever find out. I never wanted to hurt you. I thought I could fix things before you came home. I'm so sorry." The words were vague, but the tone carried betrayal, fear, and guilt in equal measure. I took a step closer to the bedroom, and then I saw it. The bed was perfectly made, yet the sheets were oddly twisted, as if someone had been there, hiding, waiting. My chest tightened. I could feel it in my bones. I had stumbled upon something I could never unsee. I tried calling her again, desperation climbing with each second of silence. The line rang once, twice, then went to voicemail. My mind was spinning, images flashing, memories of laughter, of whispered promises, of quiet nights we shared, all suddenly tainted by suspicion and fear. My hands were trembling as I reached for the doorknob, turning it slowly, my heart pounding so loud I was sure she could hear it even through the walls. Inside the bedroom, nothing moved, nothing breathed, and yet the air felt charged, like the room itself was alive with the secret it held. Then, from the far corner, I saw the envelope. My name, written in her hand, stared up at me. I dropped to my knees, heart hammering, and opened it. The note was brief, cutting through me like glass. "I never meant to hurt you. I tried to love both of us, but I failed. You deserve someone honest. I'm sorry. Goodbye." I sank against the bed, my mind spiraling. The words were just words, but the truth behind them, her hidden betrayal, the reality of her choosing someone else while I was away, was a knife I could feel twisting in my chest. My body shook with a mix of rage, disbelief, and heartbreak. My life, the one I had trusted entirely with her, had been shattered in one moment. I stumbled through the house, each room a gallery of memories now poisoned. Her perfume lingered faintly in the air, each familiar scent now a cruel reminder of love turned deceit. I picked up photographs, touching them as if my hands could hold the past together, but it was useless. Every laugh, every touch, every whispered "I love you" was a lie now, a shadow of the truth I had just discovered. I sank to the floor in the living room, my phone in hand, staring at her contact, knowing that if I called her, there would be no comfort, no explanation that could fix the ruin of years of trust. My mind replayed her voice from the bedroom, soft, trembling, apologetic, and yet colder than ice. She had hidden it all from me, every lie, every betrayal, and now, in this house that was supposed to be my sanctuary, I was utterly alone. Hours passed, though time felt suspended in a cruel limbo. The sun dipped below the horizon, shadows swallowing the room, and still, I could hear her words in my head, echoing, haunting me. The house was empty, but her betrayal was palpable, clinging to every corner, every shadow. And then, as darkness fully settled, I noticed a faint glimmer on the bedroom floor. The phone she had left behind, still recording, still capturing every moment, every secret she hadn't dared to speak aloud. I picked it up, pressing play. Her voice, trembling and raw, filled the room. I never wanted him to find out. I never wanted him to know. I thought I could fix this before it got worse. And then another voice, one I recognized instantly, the one I had suspected but never confirmed. My best friend. The words that followed shattered my world entirely. Plans, whispered secrets, lies carefully woven for months, all spilling out, exposing the depth of her betrayal. I dropped the phone, my body trembling, tears streaming down my face, not from anger, but from the unbearable weight of heartbreak. Everything I had believed in, everything I had fought for, everything I had loved, it was all a lie. And yet, in that moment, something inside me shifted. Not revenge, not anger, just clarity. The truth was here, undeniable, and I would not let it be hidden again. I left the house that night, the door swinging closed behind me, leaving behind the echoes of her betrayal, the shadows of what had once been love, and the devastating realization that some wounds are permanent, some betrayals irreparable, and some words, from the one you trusted most, can destroy a heart forever.